Первый тайм, счет уже 4-1, да?
Да,
Ну, на этом можно остановить этот мордобой.
Все, наша трансляция не будет, смотрите на сторисах, что ждет, ребят.
Да, счет.
MMA stars across the world are sounding alarms for Islam Makhachev as he prepares to make his long-awaited welterweight debut.
How has Islam been adjusting to putting on that size?
I was thinking we were going to be quite a bit smaller than Jack, but Islam right now is about 191 pounds. So we're not going to have an issue with the weight. He was a fairly large lightweight. Now, I don't think he's a big welterweight. He's an average size welterweight.
Moving up to face naturally bigger opponents is no small challenge, and many believe the reigning lightweight champion might finally meet his match at UFC 322 against Jack Della Maddalena. For years, Makhachev has dominated his division with suffocating grappling and precise control, but stepping into a higher weight class is a different kind of battlefield. The Australian champion, known for his crisp boxing and composed striking, is no stranger to dealing with pressure or adversity, and that's exactly why so many pros are split down the middle about this fight.
It's going to start on the feet and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think he's going to try and mix it up. I think he's going to probably try and get on the wrestling early, I'd imagine. Looking back on the Bilal fight, he probably sees that Bilal's mistake was maybe not getting on the wrestling early. So yeah, I expect in the first round we'll be getting to some at least some grappling exchanges, you know.
The first wave of concern came from those who know the physical demands of fighting at 170 pounds. Makhachev's transition to welterweight means he will no longer enjoy the same size and strength advantages he used to having. While he's one of the most technically sound fighters in the UFC, experts warn that at this level, technique alone might not be enough. Jack Della Maddalena is not just a hard puncher, he's a true welterweight with the kind of frame and endurance that can make lighter fighters suffer in long, grueling exchanges. Many have pointed out that size at welterweight comes with its own kind of power, and if Islam isn't careful, that could quickly become the story of the night.
How do you see that fight with him and Islam? I mean, you're giving JDM a lot of...
I'm giving him a lot of credit.
I think does he have the ability to beat a guy like Islam?
Here's where he's gonna have to show some improvement. He'll get takedown attempts coming at him very early. This time. The last fight, he didn't have to deal with that when he was fresh. If Islam can start to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make him wrestle early, he might struggle. We've seen before him get taken down, but I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's gonna feel, because it's not gonna be double legs and single leg with Islam. It's gonna be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
Beneil Dariush, who's shared the octagon with some of the toughest names in the sport, says this is a dangerous leap. He's observed enough to know that physicality matters when two elite fighters are evenly matched in skill. Dariush has made it clear that Maddalena's cardio and skill might prove too much for Islam to handle. Even though he admires Makhachev's calm and methodical approach, Dariush senses that Maddalena's energy, volume, and natural welterweight strength will push the lightweight king into unfamiliar territory.
Islam versus JDM. Do you still favor Islam in that matchup?
I'm gonna lean now towards JDM. I feel like the size will make a difference. Cardio-wise, JDM has great cardio. Maybe I'm wrong, but so I just feel like JDM.
Another voice adding to the discussion is Alexander Volkanovski, who knows exactly what it's like to fight Makhachev. Having gone 10 hard rounds across 2 titled fights with him, Volkanovski's opinion carries weight. He believes Jack Della Maddalena has the tools to hand Islam his first real setback in years, and what impressed Volkanovski most was Maddalena's showing against Belal Muhammad, a fight where Jack not only neutralized wrestling threats but also controlled the stand-up battle with ease. According to Volkanovski's analysis, that level of composure and adaptability could be the key to surviving Islam's wrestling-heavy style.
JDM is getting ready for Islam Makhachev. How dangerous is he for Islam? So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. You've got Bilal, who's a wrestler. Look how we handle that. And you know he's a beast on the feet. Islam's not taking this one lightly. So him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM can do it.
Max Holloway looked at the matchup through a different lens. He sees it as a battle of brains as much as brawn, and in his view, Jack's fight IQ stands out. Holloway has always respected fighters who can make split-second adjustments mid-fight, and he believes Maddalena fits that mold perfectly. Makhachev, on the other hand, is known for his disciplined execution and ability to stick to strategy. The idea of two intelligent fighters constantly adapting to each other excites Holloway. He thinks this could end up being one of those rare fights where every small adjustment changes the tide of battle.
Your thoughts on Islam moving up to welterweight?
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know. He's the number 2 pound for pound in the world. You gotta respect that, but don't sleep on Jack. I think it's gonna be a tough fight.
Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and when that match happens, I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's going to be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack.
Robert Whittaker, always loyal to his fellow Australians, has thrown his full support behind Maddalena. Having experienced both middleweight and welterweight power firsthand, Whittaker understands the difference a few pounds can make at this level. He views Jack as someone who thrives in chaos but never loses his calm. In Whittaker's eyes, Maddalena doesn't have to stop every takedown, he just needs to keep the fight from becoming a one-sided wrestling clinic. As long as he can maintain balance and force Makhachev to respect his striking, he believes the Australian can hold his ground and even pull off a statement win.
As you can be.
Because I think Jack has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. Yeah. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has that level of offense off his back.
Colby Covington approached it from a more tactical angle. He acknowledged that Makhachev would lose the size edge he often enjoys at lightweight, but still leaned slightly in Islam's favor. What impressed Covington most was Islam's ability to transition seamlessly between striking and grappling. He called him one of the most complete fighters in MMA today. However, even he admitted that this matchup was unpredictable, the kind of fight where anything could happen depending on who dictates the pace first.
Islam versus JDM. What do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be an exciting fight for the fans.
Sean O'Malley zoomed out from the technical debate and focused on what the fight represents. He reminded everyone that this bout isn't just about defending or claiming a belt, it's a potential turning point in both fighters' careers. The winner could become part of a bigger narrative, setting up future mega fights, perhaps even against someone like Ilia Topuria. O'Malley also emphasized the chaos factor that Maddalena brings. He said that if Jack can stuff a few takedowns early and create striking distance, things could get wild fast.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Big belt. Who give him that?
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
Merab Dvalishvili looked at the fight from a grappler's mindset. He believes Makhachev still has what it takes to shock everyone by stealing the welterweight crown. Having spent years perfecting chain wrestling, Merab knows how crucial pressure and positional control can be. He thinks Islam's southpaw stance and ability to absorb minimal damage make him a nightmare for anyone. He studied Maddalena's win over Bilal Muhammad and pointed out how Bilal struggled to secure takedowns consistently, landing only a few out of several attempts.
Islam, he's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling. He's southpaw, he don't get hits, but he takes people down and he balls people down. And also we all see the JDM Bilal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight and Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible, it's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
Meanwhile, Carlos Prates, who also appears in the UFC 322 card, gave his support to Maddalena. He admired how Jack handled the wrestling heavy challenge in his last fight and praised his patience and maturity inside the cage. De Prates, this isn't just about stopping takedowns, it's about staying composed under constant pressure. He predicted that Maddalena could outlast Islam over 5 rounds and possibly win by decision if he maintains that same poise.
The main event is also in your weight class, JDM and Islam. Who do you think is going to win that?
I think the favorite is Islam, but Jackie show like he grew up a lot as a fighter. Since he stopped fight now, he was a long time without fight, almost 2 years, and he got really good skills to fight Belal Muhammad, defense takedowns. So I think he's gonna win.
You think Jack is going to win?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think he wins a decision, or do you think he stops him?
I think decision is really hard fight.
You think Islam stays at 170 or he goes back?
If he lose, I don't know. It depends how he feels during the fights. How close is gonna be the fight, you know?
Gilbert Burns took a balanced approach. He believes Makhachev could actually perform better at welterweight since he won't have to endure brutal weight cuts anymore. That, in his view, might give Islam more stamina and physical freedom. But he also acknowledged Maddalena's elite preparation. With coaching from submission specialist Craig Jones, the same man who helped Volkanovski prepare for Makhachev, Burns sees Jack entering the fight with a highly strategic plan. He called it one of those rare matchups where both sides have equally strong cases for victory.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he'll not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Stephen Thompson remained cautiously skeptic. As a seasoned striker, he respects Maddalena's meteoric rise but questions the timing of such a massive challenge. He wonders if Jack's leap to face someone as dominant as Makhachev might be too ambitious too soon. With a stacked division featuring rising contenders like Shavkat Rakhmonov and Ian Gary, Thompson suspects that Maddalena might have bitten off more than he can chew by taking on such a seasoned and complete fighter right now.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I faced would walk around at that weight. I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Belal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.
Steve Erceg, another Australian standout, couldn't hide his admiration for Maddalena's performance against Belal Muhammad. To him, it was one of the finest showings ever by an Australian fighter in the UFC, and maintained a striking rhythm even when facing takedown threats. Erceg compared this composure to how Dustin Poirier managed to find pockets of success against Islam despite being under heavy pressure. His belief is that if Poirier could survive moments like that, then Maddalena, with heavier hands and sharper timing, could go even further in testing Makhachev's limits.
Yes, I mean, I've known for a very long time that Jack is an amazing fighter. He's really good, and he shocked me on how good he was. He handled the grappling exchanges so well, and it's the best striking performance I've seen from him. He just the big moment, he rose to the occasion. It was fantastic to see, and I really do think. I do think that the grappling from Islam, he's a better technical grappler than Bilal is, but he's not quite as big. He's not as imposing. And yeah, if you look at the Dustin Poirier fight, Poirier was able to stop some of his takedown and win some scrambles and stuff like that. I feel like not only will Jack be able to do that, but when he lands punches, it's going to be way more devastating.
In Machado, Gary put heavy emphasis on the size difference. He recognized Islam's incredible skill set, but couldn't ignore that Maddalena is a natural welterweight who could never make the lightweight cut. He sees Maddalena's physical power as a major advantage that could help him land something significant and possibly end the fight in dramatic fashion.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Bilal was very impressive. Made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA.
Black belt. Who give him back?
Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilya versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
As fight night approaches, opinions remain split right down the middle. Some see Islam Makhachev's technical mastery and relentless pace carrying him to another dominant victory. Others believe Jack Della Maddalena's natural size, composure, and striking will be the perfect storm to finally crack the lightweight king's code. Either way, one thing's clear, this isn't just another title fight, it's a collision between one of the sport's most dominant champions and a surging powerhouse ready to defend its turf. Whether Islam's precision can overcome Jack's power, or the Aussie's size proves too much to handle, UFC 322 is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable and talked about showdowns of the year.